Christmas Eve 2010. On that day, I bought my very first game on Steam called Windowsill. I think I was high. With this purchase, I started my journey in becoming a PC gamer. I'm cringing too. If you do the math, now in December 2025, it would be my 15-year anniversary of being addicted to video games. Staring at the 748 games in my Steam library, as of recording, I ask myself, what happened? How did I get here? For context, and don't tell this to anyone, I was actually a console gamer back in the day. I know. Please don't burn me alive. I grew up with the PlayStation 1, the Game Boy, and my beloved GameCube. Over time, I got myself the PlayStation 3, Wii, and even my very own PC. A personal computer. Okay, it was an iMac, but hear me out. Back when the Apple App Store was new, I made cringe videos reviewing mobile games with a friend. I thought an iMac is how you make good videos. It wasn't. Around 2010, that same friend told me about Steam, a website on which you could buy games digitally, download and play them in a matter of minutes. There was no need to go to the next store and buy it physically. For context, I lived in a small town with like 500 people, and the next big store was 40 minutes away. By car. Which I didn't have yet. To summarize, I had an iMac, which was a good PC, but limited in what it could play. I had fast internet, so downloading things was not an issue. And I was at the ripe age of 17. Without many friends. But here's the twist. The following year, after having bought my first game on Steam, a trailer for an indie game released. Having watched Let's Plays of the game, it seemed almost perfect. I really wanted to play it, and maybe even make videos of it. But it would only come out for Windows. This game single-handedly convinced me to buy a gaming PC in 2011, and kind of changed how I bought video games in the future. The game is Terraria. According to my purchase history on Steam, I bought Terraria on May 20th, 2011. Now, having had a game I really enjoyed on my brand new gaming PC, I just spent more time on it. There was no reason to go back to my consoles when I barely bought games for them. In short, Terraria was the catalyst. I played on my PC for longer periods of time, which made me come back to Steam more often. I saw new games pop up on the storefront, and with the regular sales on Steam, I continued buying more games. In addition, I enjoyed making videos for YouTube, and having had a job for the most part since I was 15, I had money to buy PC hardware. So all of this culminated in me becoming a PC gamer over the past 15 years. Now you know where I come from. Austria. How I've played games has changed over the years, and what the catalyst was. An indie game with a bunch of pixels. For this upcoming part, I want to clarify that I suck at math. Take the numbers on screen with a grain of salt. I'm going to answer now what maybe some of you are curious about. How much money in total did I spend on Steam in the past 15 years? There is a handy way to find that out. Thankfully, in the Steam app, you can go to the top left where it says Help, then go to Support, then to My Account, then Data related to your Steam account, and lastly, you go to External Funds Used. The same external funds I used on your mom last night. You have to use your two-factor authentication here, and I recommend setting that up, if you haven't yet, for whatever reason. Now, the total amount spent is, drumroll please, $6,362.50. That seemed a bit low for a variety of reasons. One, gaming is my main hobby, and that is where most of my money went. Some people really like cars and buying or modifying them. Some people enjoy traveling, and that can be expensive. For me, it was playing games, diving into those worlds, skipping the cutscenes, solving puzzles, and enjoying the gameplay. Those $6,300 are only Steam though. What about the other platforms? Some platforms offer game bundles, and after buying it, you receive a code, which you can then use on Steam. If I used that code, I got a game added to my Steam library, but the money spent wouldn't show up in the total amount spent from earlier. So, I was an insane person and calculated everything together, and also converted it to US dollars. Here is the result for the platforms and games that I spent money on. Starting with Humble Bundle, I spent a total of $841, which was a lot more than I expected. On GOG, I spent $42, which is a whole lot less. But then I realized GOG is not the same as Green Man Gaming. So I looked up what I spent there, and it turns out I can't see that. I only see the games I bought there, but not how much I paid for them. I can probably figure that out through PayPal, but we both know I don't have time for that. So, or I pretend to. Anyways, I spent, let's say, $350 there. That's probably way too much, but let's just say $350 on Green Man Gaming. On Ubisoft, I spent, thankfully, only $11, and on EA, or at the EA platform, whatever the hell it's called, the launcher stuff, it's $69 dollars. Pretty reasonable. Good number, by the way. Following that was Xbox Game Pass, or Game Pass for PC, or maybe it's going to be called Gaming with Your Co-Pilot soon. Microsoft stop, for real though. So I spent a total of $154 on that. A bit more than I expected, to be fair. And this was it. Okay, you and I know I'm lying. There was this small indie game, RPG, that I spent some money on. Yeah, it's Path of Exile. I'm gonna say it out loud, it's gonna be a shocker. I spent a total of $1,690 on that game. Yup, thus, the total money spent across all platforms and the one game is $9,523.52. Obviously, some purchases were in the distant past, but I really didn't want to calculate the inflation rate on each purchase per year. I'm not getting paid for this. So to make it easier to remember, and I'm sure I forgot some games I bought on some platforms, let's just round this whole thing up to $9,600 US dollars across 15 years of PC gaming. And because math is fun sometimes, 15 years are 180 months, and that's probably a lot of hours. But I don't care about that right now. Dividing $9,600 US dollars by 180 months gives us the average amount of money spent on games per month across that time span. And my monthly cost of being a PC gamer is $54, rounded up. That's kind of okay. With those Steam sales, I saved a lot of money there. Well, technically it's not saved, it's gone. Anyways, interestingly, 54 is very similar to what I put to the side as my monthly budget for fun stuff. Money I can use for games or going to the cinema once a year. So now we have the money spent on games over the past 15 years, roughly. That's kind of it. Well, you kind of need a thing to play those games on, like a gaming PC. These things can be a bit expensive. Don't look at the current RAM prices. Don't worry about that. Everything around PC hardware is a bit complicated. I own a variety of little gadgets, but technically those are not necessary to play games, nor are the 3 monitors. I'll imagine a world in which I don't create content for YouTube, or my non-existent OnlyFans. Still, I'm a PC gamer, and in this imaginary world, I enjoy having hardware, especially if it's fun. I definitely spent money on a second or third mouse, even though the other ones still worked. To compare it to console players, you might own 2 or 3 controllers. But during a walk through a gaming convention, your eyes light up, seeing a brand new controller with a cool design. So you buy it. Why? Because it's nice. You get the point. Let's go bit by bit. I'll now break down how much money I spent on PC hardware over the past 15 years. Starting off with the first gaming PC that I mentioned earlier, which was probably around $2,563 in 2011. In 2022, I spent $2,488. A bit less. Probably because I built it myself and also went for AMD and not Intel. And lastly, the one PC I built last year, I think was last November in 2024, which was $5,267. Yeah, it's a bit more. In total, I spent $10,309 on gaming PCs. Boy, that's already a lot of money, and we just started. Next up are my main monitors, and to explain this, I usually have one main monitor that I really want and use as pretty much everything. Content creation, consuming content, making OnlyFans stuff, you get the point. If I calculate all the main monitors, and some of them I still have, for example, I don't throw them out, even though I change things up, it's $2,156. But something that is also incredibly high were keyboards and mice. So I'm just gonna say it out loud. It's $828 and $567 respectively. That's a total of $1,396 I spent on keyboards and mice. That's a lot of money. Following that are headphones, which that's probably way too much, but I'm still gonna say it. It's $583. You don't need to spend that amount of money over 15 years. That's for headphones. Microphones and microphone arms. Well, in total, that's $401. Good number, 401. No, if you're wondering, this doesn't include the Shure SM7B. We're talking about basic microphones and microphone arms. And if you're wondering, why would you even count microphones as a PC gamer? Well, you might like playing games in co-op, or you might enjoy playing Among Us once in a while with your friends. Controllers are a bit more complicated because I don't play too much with it. It's only around $131, so definitely smaller. The total money spent on hardware, Jesus Christ, sorry, the total money spent on PC hardware across 15 years of PC gaming is $14,000 $978.88. Dear God, and for simplicity's sake, let's round all these numbers up in each category and add those two together, and the sum of that is $15,250. So that's roughly the money I spent. I know what you're thinking now. What if we add everything together? And what's the monthly cost of being a PC gamer then? The money spent on games was $9,600. And now with PC hardware, that's $15,250, giving us a total of $24,850 spent on PC stuff across 15 years. With 24K on the horizon now, or in my face, if I repeat the calculation from earlier, taking the total amount and dividing that by 180 months, I get $139. Meaning, I spent an average of $139 every single month on PC gaming stuff for the past 15 years, directly or indirectly. That's just what the data says. I always thought everything outside of gaming is incredibly expensive and or not worth my time and money. A game that gives you 20 hours of fun could cost you, during a sale, only $15. I mean, Hollow Knight exists, and you probably get more than 20 hours out of that game. But money spent and the amount of playtime you had is not the same as enjoyment or how memorable said time was. For a bad example, I spent $0, none, and got over 7,000 hours out of a game. That sounds incredible, like unbelievably good. Like I cannot believe it. I am lying, the game is Path of Exile. I am not denying that I didn't enjoy the game, or still do, but out of those 7,000 hours spent, how memorable was it? How many memories do I still have in my noggin of those 7,000 hours? Or out of the 700 games in my library, how many hours or moments can I genuinely recollect? Not that many. To summarize, in 2010 I bought my very first game on Steam, and in 2011 I started my journey becoming a PC gamer because Terraria released. After that, I spent more and more time on my PC and bought over 700 games. Adding everything together that I spent on games and PC hardware, it seems that I spent $24,850 on PC gaming in the past 15 years. And that's probably lowballing it. What can you take away from this? I can't tell you that. These numbers may surprise you, may shock you even. Or maybe you jokingly think, those are rookie numbers. Whatever your reaction is, whatever you feel, that is what you can take away from this video. That is something you can reflect on. What can I take away from this? I can't really explain it yet, because it's very complicated. I can't get those $24,000 back. I can't get the thousands of hours back. They are gone. But they have shaped me in a variety of ways. Probably more ways than I can even imagine. Gaming as a whole is a hobby I loved and still love to this day. I know that the hours I spend playing games, I can spend on more important things. Some hours might not be as fun. Some hours could even be incredibly exhausting and emotionally complex. But they are probably going to be more memorable than playing another hour of an ARPG or another match in some MOBA or Battle Royale. I just hope this video helped you even a tiny bit. Maybe you will think on what you want to spend your time and money on in the future. If I had $24,000 in my bank account right now, I could do a lot with that. I would probably take out $20 and pay your mom a visit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you stayed hydrated throughout this video. Until next time.